Good morning. My name is Kimberly Hall, and I serve as the President-elect on the Board of Trustees of the Unitarian Universalist Church of Spartanburg. At UUCS, we strive to be a beloved community of warmth, love, and support across all our differences. We are happy that you're here. If you are visiting with us this morning, we would love to meet you. Visitor cards may be found in the pocket on the back of the chair in front of you. Please feel welcome to fill one out and place it in the offering plate during the service so we can connect with you. It is now officially August, and for many of us, this is a time of transition as we look forward to the end of summer and the beginning of fall. For many, this is also the start of a new school year, a transition we celebrate today with our blessing of the backpacks. This is a time of endings and beginnings, and I wish you all a calm center in the middle of what is often a very busy season. Speaking of which, there's always a lot going on in the life of this congregation. Find the August Connect in the lobby, look through the one-page weekly calendar in your order of service, and always check your weekly happenings. I'll just highlight a few of the exciting events and things to consider that we have coming up. Spartanburg Pride Coalition. We're so excited that UUCS will be hosting Sparkle City Pride on November 7th here in this church. The Pride Coalition is putting together teams of people to make this happen, so if you are interested in volunteering, please fill out the form in each week's happenings or reach out to Anne. We are looking for ushers. So every Sunday morning, our team of ushers hands out the order of service, opens the door for late arrivals, and collects the offering. We could really use a few more people to serve as ushers on Sunday mornings. So if you can commit to one Sunday a month or a part-time usher, please contact Rick Honenberg and he will get you plugged in. Please join us in the fellowship hall immediately following today's service for coffee hour. Special thanks to Terry Rockwell and Victoria Jones for organizing this for us today. And if you would like to help with future coffee hours, please reach out to Victoria at hospitality@uucs.org. And then this afternoon, you're going to have a packed Sunday. You are invited to join us for the monthly Progressive Christian Gathering, which takes place on the first Sunday of each month at 4 p.m. in our sanctuary. This gathering is for UCC congregations across the upstate, members of our UU congregation, and anyone in the community who is interested. These will be open, welcoming, affirming, and kind services in the Christian tradition. Thank you all for supporting this wonderful and much requested endeavor. And thank you all for all you do to make this a place of love, warmth, and welcome for all.
Good morning. I'm Denise Levereau, and I am your worship associate today. I am so glad that you are here to join us, whether it is in person or virtually. I'd like to take a moment before we light our chalice to introduce our guest speaker. We have Nancy Baskett to speak with us today on traveling our way home. Nancy Baskett takes her name from a Cherokee grandmother of long ago, Margaret Baskett. It's the practice of the Click-to-Cat people in Washington State, near where she was born, to take the name of one of their ancestors once they make baskets well. Nancy came south in 1989 after making pine baskets for 10 years to learn stories of respect from Cherokee elders. They found her 20 years ago. Who is Cherokee and who is an elder is the rest of that story. And she asks, how far do you have to travel in order to find out who you are? For our chalice lighting this morning, we have two readings. The first is Romans 10:18 from the First Nations Version, an indigenous translation of the New Testament. But our tribal people have not heard this message, have they? Yes, they have. The Book of Sacred Songs tells us, the voice of the stars in the night sky has spoken to all the land. Their message has traveled the four directions to the furthest places on earth. And also Psalm 19, verses 1 through 4 in the New International Version The heavens declare the glory of God. The skies proclaim the work of his hands. Day after day they pour forth speech. Night after night they reveal knowledge. They have no speech, they use no words, no sound is heard from them. Yet their voice goes out into all the earth, their words to the end of the world.
Good morning. I'm going to ask Max to play through this hymn. It's one of our less familiar hymns, but the words are perfect for today's message. So this is hymn number 324, Where My Free Spirit Onward Leads.
The Rippling Bowl is a tradition that we engage in every week to have a moment of connection where we share our joys, our sorrows, our successes, and our stresses. I will place a shell in the bowl for both people who cannot be with us today or that are joining us virtually. I invite you now to come partake in the Rippling Bowl.
Somewhere out there, someone saying a prayer that we'll find one another in that big somewhere out there. And even though I know how very far apart we are, it helps to think we might be wishing on that same bright star. And when the night wind starts to sing a lonesome lullaby, it helps to think we're sleeping underneath the same big sky. Somewhere out there, if love can see us through, then we'll be together. Somewhere out there, out where dreams come true.
As Unitarian Universalists, we don't have a specific creed. Yeah. There must be something Freudian in that, but I'm not sure. Instead, we make a promise to ourselves and to each other about specific ways that we're going to show up. I invite you now to recite the creed with me. It is printed in your order of service, or it is displayed on your screen if you are joining us virtually. With courage, we say, we are a people of faith and hope. Together we covenant to strive to become our better selves, to honor both the critical mind and the generous heart, to prove that diversity need not mean divisiveness, and to respond to systems of violence and oppression with the power of a love beyond belief. I get chills every time I say that. All right, we have now come to the part of our morning where we greet one another. If you're joining us virtually, take a moment to send a tweet, an email, text message, smoke signal, any way you prefer to connect with people. And if you are here with us in person, we are going to take a moment and remember that other people may have small bubbles and like hugs and touches. Other people may just wish to wave and smile. We are also going to be mindful and listen for Max to play the music for us to come back together because we have a lot to get through this morning. Thank you. Let the holy chaos begin.
Good morning. If I can have all of our kids and youth, any teachers, or anybody who would like to come up and have a blessing for the new school year, come on up. Come on, friends. Come on over. Y'all can have a seat if you'd like. And if you don't have a backpack or a tote bag or anything, that is perfectly fine. You still receive the blessing. You want to have a seat? Okay. All right. Okay, today we gather to bless these backpacks, and if they're at home, we bless them still too. And the people who carry them. They hold books and pencils and lunches and water bottles, but they also carry hopes, questions, dreams, and the promise of a new beginning. We bless every learner, children, youth, college students, teachers, staff, and all who continue to learn throughout life. And then as a congregation, we're going to say, we celebrate your journey. We celebrate your journey. And we come along beside you.
As you begin this new year, may you always remember, be loved. You are worthy of love, just as you are. Before any test is taken, before any success or disappointment, you belong to this community and to the great web of life. And as a congregation, we will say, you are loved. You are loved. You belong. You belong.
Be kind. May your words bring encouragement, your actions reflect compassion, and your heart remain open to those who need a friend. May you remember to offer the same kindness to yourself. And as a congregation, we will say, may kindness guide our words and actions. May kindness guide our words and actions.
Be you. Bring your whole self into the world with courage and joy. Ask questions. Share your gifts. Honor your values. Your unique light helps make our community and our world more whole. And as a congregation, we will say, we celebrate who you are and who you are becoming. We celebrate who you are and who you are becoming.
May these bags carry not only the tools for learning, but also reminders that you never travel alone. This congregation promises to encourage your curiosity, support you through challenges, and rejoice in your discoveries. As a congregation, we say, we will cheer you on, lift you up, and welcome you home. We will cheer you on, lift you up, and welcome you home.
May this school year be filled with wonder, growth, friendship, courage, and moments of unexpected joy. May you learn with open minds, love with open hearts, and meet each day with hope. And may you always remember, be loved. And if you all will say, we will remind you that you are. We will remind you that you are.
Be kind. And as a congregation, you will say, we will practice kindness together. We will practice kindness together.
Be you. And as a congregation, we give thanks for the gift of who you are. We give thanks for the gift of who you are. May we all grow together in love, in wisdom, and in hope. May it be so.
And now that you've been blessed, we want to send you off with a little reminder that this congregation loves you and is caring for you and will always support you. So we have a little keychain tag that says, be loved, be kind, be you. You can put it on your bag, your tote bag, wherever you would like to remind you, to help remind you that you are loved by this congregation and we are with you every step of the way. All right, once we get those passed out, if anybody wants to go back to the nursery with me, we'll meet at the back and we'll go back and play in the nursery. And if you're on the rainbow rug, remember that it's not a pizza party. We're having a fancy dinner party and we're gonna have our best manners for the message time, right? Yes, okay. Thank you so much, and here's to a great new school year.
We have now come to the point in our service where we share our financial gifts. We are a giving community. This month, we are sharing half of our plate and all designated offerings with the UUCS Voting Justice. You can read in your order of service all of the amazing things we are doing to help make sure that voting is available and accessible to all. Ushers, if you will please come forward.
I have often dreamed of a far-off place where a great warm welcome will be waiting for me, where the crowds will cheer when they see my face, and a voice keeps saying, this is where I'm meant to be. I will find my way. I can go the distance, I'll be there someday. If I can be strong, I know every mile will be worth my while. I would go most anywhere to feel like I belong.
Would you please join me in a few moments of silence? Thank you. I'm not one that's very long on silence. Osio dohiju, ayana ni talucha, usti chiwoni chalagi. What I just said is, hello, how are you? My name's Nancy Basket, and I know a little bit of Cherokee. That's about it. Except for a few words that the elders taught me a long time ago. But how in the world did I get here? I started out in Washington State because that's where I was born. And I was never really connected to my family because they were so different than me. Maybe I was just different than them. But my mom, who is German, dad was Cherokee. He crossed over about 12 years ago. But mom said something kind to me. She goes, Nancy, you have too many questions. I don't have the answers. I bought you encyclopedias, and well, we used to have books back in the day, kids, and you had to open them, and there was no cell phone and no computers. But she said, you go out into the world, and you find some good answers to your questions. And when you do, would you come home and share them with me? At 92, my mom has been in a nursing home recently. She's still there, she's doing well, and I come home and tell her the stories, and I will be telling her about you tomorrow. So we still share that bond, but I'm still in Washington State, so I have all these 4 children, and I loaded them up in a big blue van, and I travel across the country. And some of you older ones will know who the Beverly Hillbillies were. The Clampetts, well, they had all of their stuff on the top of their van, and I had my favorite alder chairs that people made out of there, made for me, and I put them on the top, and I carried them all the way to Chicago, because I got married. And he was wonderful and had 2 children, but then I had to come back to ancestral homeland. I was different. I had to know the answers why. Well, when I came down here, we found a big house for all the 6 children, and all they wanted to do is be like everybody else, and I wasn't like anybody else, and they did the bestest they could, and then they had children, and now I have beautiful grandchildren. So I say that I have a beautifully colored necklace made out of beads of different colored children, because I have to tell the color story. Because, well, we're really different. You might as well know about it. Because this is a place that celebrates diversity and difference. I was here and attended this church 30 years ago, and I haven't been back since. That tells you something. No, I moved to Walhalla. You got to use a little bit of humor, people. The world is just too serious. And what my friend says, 1 serious plus 1 serious is 2 serious. I love that quote. Write it down. You can quote me on it later. So we came down here and we started this blended family together, and that worked for a while. But now I had to go to Walhalla, and that's too far to come back and forth. But Reverend Dr. Ann doesn't think so, but that's a different story. What I love being here and seeing some of the older people again is the face-to-face communication. It's not through a screen, although some of you in video land, hey, if this is the only way you can hear, that's a good thing. But my granddaughter is here with me today, Jade, and I really appreciate that. Because she hurt her back at work, and she was going to stay home, and then she surprised me, and I almost cried. Because family is where you find it. And sometimes when you make family, you take them to a powwow, and you write while you take them out of school is a religious holiday. Works for me. And it worked to get them out of the school district they didn't have to make up time. So I took the grandkids to powwows, and that's when Native people get together. We sing, we dance, we tell stories, we have some people that come and demonstrate, and it's a good thing because we can be ourselves, we can dance in public, because until about 1976 or so, we could be put in jail for dancing in public, so we started dancing at night when we could see under a full moon. There were a lot of things that happened back in the day, but we can't be angry about that. We can go forward and figure out a way to be inclusive. For me, some social justice groups are angry and mean. It's just the truth. You know, just because you're from one group doesn't mean that everybody is all perfect all the time. You've got people that haven't dealt with their ancestral trauma, and they bring that forth and fob it off on everybody else the way that they were treated. And some of us have to meet in the middle somewhere so we can all come from everywhere. So I have this beautiful colored of rainbow children that I wear here, close to my heart. Dad married Mom. Dad's from the red nation. Mom's from the white nation. You get together in art class, and what color do you make? Pink. I'm from the pink nation. I like both cultures. I celebrate them both. I married a man from Korea. We call him, the symbolic color is yellow. He comes from the east. The sun comes from the east. So you mix pink and yellow together, what do you get? Orange. So all my children are orange. Now I told Jade's mother this, and she went to school in Union down the road, and a lot of the girls on the basketball team were African American, and they love Jessica because she's bigger, badder, bolder, and she's not afraid to rough you up, and nobody can catch her. Well, some of us aren't perfect. We just like to win. And Jessica, you don't mess with Jess. So they said, girl, your name is different and your mom is different because we hear about her in the newspapers stirring stuff up. And they really did this. And they said, what's your story? She said, well, Mom's red, kind of pinkish, and I'm orange. And they said, girlfriend, you have so many colors mixed up inside you. Your name is Rainbow. And this is her native name to this day. She married a thunder. He shortened her name to Rain. I was hoping they'd have a storm, but they never did. Jade was always here. And Jade is a beautiful color too. Her daddy's African American. And so I have all of these colors close to my heart. So when I come here, I see part of myself. I see family. And you have to go a long way sometimes when you don't fit in where you were born to find where you need to be, where your medicine is. And medicine for Native people is, what do you do well? What do you love? What gift do you have that Creator gave you that you can give back in service to the people? Why else are we here? We're here to experience joy and to live and to find something where we can give. That's why you have that other sheet of paper with everything in the world that you people do. Because you can find a place to join and love giving with your gifts. Now, when I was a little girl and all of the songs that were chosen, and not by me, thank you, music department, you read my mind. But this is what happens when unity, when cohesion, when energy combines in a good way, it all comes together the way it should. When I was a little girl, I watched a movie called Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. You have to be really old to know that one. But Native people, we flash the OLD card whenever we can because we know more than some of the other people. I was in that car, and in my dreams, I flew in that car, and I was over beautiful areas, and they had lots of mountains. And And I can't believe it, but when I came here for the first time and I was on the Blue Ridge Parkway, I was overwhelmed with the feeling that I'd been there before. I had to pull my car over. And I knew that what I was seeing was where I was in the Chitty Chitty Bang Bang car a long time ago. I don't make this stuff up. It really happens. And then I don't tell it very often, except in a place like this that's recorded. Oh dear. My family can catch on later if they so choose. A lot of different things happen to me like that. And I know that coming here is very important. I'm going to stay here the rest of my life. I'm an artist in education. And I have been in the public school system for 30 years. Why? Because they need it the most. And I have to be careful now about what I say so that I don't get in trouble. But I've always been in trouble. And I'm always in the principal's office because people interpret what I say differently. One little boy came home and told his mom one day, "Mom, the principal called me a scurvy elephant." And the mom got mad and she went to the school and talked to the principal and said, "Why did you call my son a scurvy elephant?" And he said, "Ma'am, I called him a disturbing element." Intention and impact, people, it makes a difference, you know? So without face-to-face communication, and you're just reading about what somebody said about us, and everybody's going to say things about us, you don't really know who we are. So come and find somebody's story. Invest enough time with them, even if we have a little bit of different energy, because it makes a big difference. For Native people, everything is sentient. The air, the wind, the trees, they all speak. My medicine is with plants. Some people dog whisper. I don't. I just hear plants talk. And I know when they're choking for water. I went in to see Mom, and the plants in the planter were all shriveled up because we haven't had any rain. And they said, "Please don't make us wait until tonight." And so I asked the receptionist, "Hey, you got something that I can water those plants?" She goes, "No, I only work on the weekends. I've never seen anybody water those plants." I said, "I will." So I went in and I found a bucket kind of, and I filled it with water on the way out, and I gave them a drink. And we have a story about that. And this little boy is told to go get his grandpa a drink, and he has to go out at night, and he has this sieve, and that's all they had. And so he goes down to the river, and he gets a bit of water in that container, and he sees a plant that needs a drink, and he gives it a drink and a little bit. And then he goes a ways further, he sees this wolf that's very, very thirsty. He gives the wolf a drink, and by the time he gets home, Grandpa doesn't have much left. But the spirit of the night comes and says, "Thank you for remembering who you are. Thank you for remembering all the beings that are your family." And then he made sure that they had a lot of water from then on. And water is very important. We let it ripple out. Our energy ripples out. Native people don't have a hierarchy of a ladder of success. We know that some of us were put here from different planets. I don't want to rock your world too much, but kind of. Some people say we come out of Africa. Okay, maybe at a certain time point, but Native people were set down here from, I think, the Pleiades. Some other Native people come from the Dog Star. So the stars talk to us. We don't have ancient aliens. We have ancestors. I don't know if you watch that show on TV, but I love it because it combines all of the archaeology and all of the cool places and all of the worlds, and it connects us together. And you don't hear about that in school. They won't let you know. They want to keep division in the world. So I get hauled into the principals for talking about diversity and inclusion. And I just came from a taste and a tasting dinner to where you're supposed to learn about different foods, and the farmers are growing and the chefs are cooking them, and it's all about different vegetables because it's all vegan. I'm an omnivore, but I can handle veganism. And it was mostly gluten-free so my friends could do it too. I'm thinking, whoa, how can I go clear to almost Asheville and do all this with my friends and then come here? We didn't get home till 10:30. I go to bed at 7 o'clock. Well, that's because I get up at 2 or 3. That's because I had kids. And if you don't get a time for yourself in the morning, you don't get any time. So with Mom living with me for 12 years, I had to have my time when she went to bed. And I go to sleep really quick with a monitor on, so she gets up and tries to leave the house, I can catch her. Because she was on a walker, so she couldn't walk very fast. We make fun with everybody because the alternatives are too sad to think about. So that's how our family got through our time together, and how we will continue to go through our time together, knowing that we can be different and it's okay. I used to live in Union, but now I live in Walhalla, and I have a studio there. And I work with kudzu. And kudzu is a plant that grows 12 inches a day and nobody likes it. And this kid at school was making the best basket, and I said, hey, you're really doing a good job, and you're not saying a word. And all of the kids in the class busted out laughing. And I took that teacher in the back. I hope there are some teachers in here and retired teachers. I took that teacher in the back and I said, why are the kids making fun of this guy? She goes, well, every single day he gets in trouble and has to go to the principal's office, and then they have to call his mother and tell her what bad thing he did today. But today he doesn't have to go. So I'm thinking, how does that have to do with kudzu? Because nobody likes it and has a bad reputation. Give me the people with bad reputations. Give me the people that don't fit in, and we'll find them a place kind of like here. You have to celebrate what they do well for however long they do that. You've got to give them a kind word. My kids grew up with be loving and kind. Yo mama said, I'll drink to that. Water, the elixir of life, or coffee out there afterwards. What we say words have power, they have energy, they have frequency, and they reach out like ripples in your water bowl, and they affect people's lives. This is why I'm not going to fight for anything. Look what fighting has done in the world. We are at an impasse. And with kindness and with loving respect for each other, no matter what dominant culture society says, we don't have to be that. We're everything else. And we can celebrate the little kids, the teenagers. I can't believe they're here. Whoa, nice. Because you're going to be the leaders doing something really cool before we know it. Because 30 years passes very quickly. And I don't want to let that opportunity slide much longer to come back and be part of this community. Hey, we might pass Reverend Doctor on the road. We know about titles, and titles aren't important. What they say about you really isn't important. What we think about ourselves, what we tell our children, that's what's important. The stars speak. The Native people got together and made the New Testament in a version that a lot of Native people could respect. So some of us are Christians, some of us are traditional, some of us do a little bit of all of that. But I seek out and look for the ones who are kind, the ones who are inclusive. And that's because of Martin Prechtel. I don't know if you know who he is, but I put his name in the order of service, so you might look him up. He is a great storyteller. And he went to Guatemala after the war. My youngest daughter married a guy from Guatemala, my son-in-law Juan. I call him my outlaw in-law, because we tease everybody, you know. And he has helped me all of the time, even when he's not a member of the family. He still is. And he helps me with my 1 acre, and I couldn't do what I do without him. Martin Prechtel was in Guatemala during the war that Juan fought in as a child, and he's almost 50 now. He doesn't want to talk about it because it's too ugly. I think that's really different that he becomes a part of the family, that we are drawn in these ripples together, because family is where you find them. What if we were all in one tribe, one group once, and we're finding each other again? This time we're a different color. I love when that happens. Because Native people say that we come back over and over again until we get it right and nobody's left behind. And we have all kinds of genders. Some people want to leave that part out depending on what they bought into, but a lot of us don't. And this is important too because they have a different kind of medicine than we do. And we're all important and we all have a place, we just need to find out where that is. So I came all the way down to Union, South Carolina, just so I could find family. I don't want to live up in Cherokee. It can be kind of depressing. And they have problems with casinos, and they have all kinds of problems up there, so I just don't buy into that. I have friends up there who accept me, who I am, and that's okay. Because down in South Carolina, we can self-identify as Native, and the government organizations, the art guilds, the Native American Studies Center, all accept me, who I've always been. I've said the same thing for 30 years. And what I think is so fascinating is that 2 days ago, an archaeologist found me. I knew her from Green River Preserve. For 13 years, she's been up there in that 3,000-acre campsite, documenting how old what she finds is. And in your textbooks, you're told that the Cherokees were here 2,000 years ago. My elders say that some of our stories go back 50,000 years. History is going to be turned on its head because she's going to publish her findings, and she's found all of these documented points and flakes and different kinds of things that say a much different story than 2,000 years ago. And she was in my house. She was just kind of wandering around, and I've got a Ring doorbell, and my phone kept ringing. And I looked out, and it wasn't windy, because kudzu, I grow it at my house. It's my fence. It protects me from the neighbors, so I can sit on the porch and drink coffee in the morning without having to talk to somebody too early. And it was ringing, and it wasn't windy. And she was out there kind of waiting until I opened the door. And she didn't call. Oh, I love Martha. And she said, well, I'm going to Cherokee tomorrow. That would be yesterday. And I'm going to meet with Davy Arch, because I've known him before, and he was just named Beloved Man. The Cherokees had a beloved man and a beloved woman, and they took care of the people. And she was going to meet with him and ask for their archaeologist to give them some idea of history that they believe, so that we can combine all this together, because her history of what happened here is from the 80s. That's a little bit long. And we have new stories to tell. But you're going to have to wait until another time, because I think I've run several moments over, and we try to keep a tight ship around here. So I think I'll sit down and wait until I'm told to do something else. Thank you so much for listening to me.
Thank you, Nancy, for that invigorating, wonderful message. If you will, turn to page 163 in your hymnals, For the Earth Forever Turning. For the
Before we extinguish our chalice, let's take a moment and give Nancy another round of applause. For the extinguishing of our chalice today, we have from the book, The Unlikely Peace at Cuchimanquic, The Parallel Lives of People as Plants by American author and educator Martin Prechtel. The real old ones are the indigenous oneness, and they are not going to be tribalist because they are in the story of all mythic things and have merged into the submolecular awareness in the sap and bloodstream of all living things that feed the present and do not value small thinking, isolationist, ancestral prejudice.
So if you know this one, we would love to invite you to sing along loudly. You don't have to sing to yourself. Enjoy it. This is a wonderful reminder of our wonderful theme today. So you think you're a Romeo, playing a part in a picture show. We'll take the long way home. Take the long way home. 'Cause you're the joke of the neighborhood. Why should you care if you're feeling good? We'll take the long way home. Oh, y'all know this one. So take the long way home. But there are times that you feel you're part of the scenery. All the greenery is coming down, boy. And then your wife seems to think you're part of the furniture. Oh, it's peculiar. She used to be so nice. When lonely days turn to lonely nights, you take a trip to the city lights and take the long way home. And take the long way home. You never see what you want to see. Forever playing to the gallery and take the long way home. And take the long way home. There you're up on the stage, you're so unbelievable, unforgettable. How they adore you. But then your wife seems to think you're losing your sanity. Oh, it's calamity. Oh, is there no way out? Does it feel like your life's become a catastrophe? Oh, it has to be for you to grow, boy. When you look through the years and see what you could have been, oh, what you might have been if you'd had more time. So when the day comes to settle down, well, who's to blame if you're not around? You took the long way home. 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 Long way home. Long way home. Long way home.
We are joyful in this day. And when you leave the parking lot, remember to take the long way home. Thank you.